Hey everybody, it's Eric from EPAutos.com, your libertarian car guy. Sunday morning, and I'm headed off to the gym to do Captain Freedom's workout. But I thought I'd ruminate with you on my way there about the political situation in this country, which is an interesting situation in that, on the one hand, we have got irreconcilable differences, very much of a piece with those that existed in 1861 when what is called the Civil War erroneously erupted. And I say erroneously because it was not a civil war, not properly speaking, because the southern states that formed the Confederacy were not looking to take over the country. They wanted their own country. They wanted a separation, peacefully if possible. Which, interestingly enough, is something that Americans are taught to celebrate every July 4th when they celebrate the independence of the United States from the Empire of Great Britain, of which they were once a part. Interesting little bit of cognitive dissonance there, in that it was not only okay, but something to be celebrated when the American colonists broke from the government of Great Britain because of irreconcilable differences. But when the southern states attempted to do the same, exactly the same thing, and for very similar reasons, by the way, they were militarily crushed by the forces of the North. So anyway, brief little history lesson there. If you haven't looked at it that way, you might want to, because it is in fact the factual way to look at it, even though it's a very politically incorrect way to look at it. But back to my my point, or rather the thing that I wanted to talk about. In 1861, the dividing lines were very clear for the most part, because they were geographic. You had the North, you had the South, and separating them roughly was the Mason-Dixon line. You probably heard about that. So, you know, it was easy enough to line up on one side or the other, even though there were people in the southern states that were not in favor of departing from the Union, just as there were people in the northern states that were in favor of allowing the southern states to go their separate ways. By the way, once again, look, I'm stuck in a vaxxed conga, a clover conga, whatever you want to call it. We're going 49 miles an hour on a road with a 55 mile an hour speed limit, which realistically means the flow of traffic on this road is 60 something, but now we got to drive 10 or more below because one car up there can't drive the freaking speed limit. And when that happens, and then nobody passes the person, everybody is stuck behind the one person, and the line just gets longer and longer and longer. Anyway, back to where we were. Now we've got this problem because the dividing lines are not nearly so clear, are they? You know, it's, if you look at a map, it's kind of modeled. You know, the difference between people who simply want to be left alone for the most part, to leave their own lives and let other people lead their lives, and then you got the authoritarian control freaks, i.e., the political left. They still sometimes call themselves liberals, but they're nothing of the kind. They're extremely illiberal. They want to force everybody to do exactly what they think they ought to do. That's not liberal. Anyway, we got this problem because now, even assuming we could peacefully separate, untwine ourselves, kind of like in a bad marriage, how? You know, I mean, if you live amongst them, or they live amongst you, what are you going to do? And I think this is the question of our time, and I wish I had an answer for it. I really don't. You know, because like most people on my side of the fence, which is probably your side of the fence, we want peace. We are not looking to get into a fight. We'd like to avoid a fight if we possibly can. But at the same time, the other side, the left, is not going to leave us alone, no matter what. It is just the nature of the left. They're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and they'll push until we have absolutely no room to maneuver left at all. So I think ultimately that is the choice that we're going to face, and then the question becomes how? How do we do it? Now, I don't have an answer for you this morning. I just thought I'd post this and get your thoughts and see what you think about how this can be affected, or if it can be affected at all. Would love to hear your comments, either here on Rumble where I'm posting this, or over at EPAutos.com, the web's best libertarian gearhead site. Now I'm going to try to pass the Clover Conga, so wish me luck, and we'll have more for you again soon.